adding vectors and geometric representation. So what we have to do is find the sum of the given vectors and illustrate geometrically. So the first problem, we have two vectors, -1/4, and the other one is 6, -2. The order matters. So doing this thing is like driving an airplane. So let me show you how to do it. So the first one is -1/4, right? So you sketch an xy plane, and then -1/4 is right here, and then the starting point is the origin. So you shoot an arrow to 1/4. Make sure you use an arrow. When you do your homework either online or on paper, make sure you draw an arrow. And then 6, -2, here is what most people will do, which is a mistake. So let me go ahead and show you that mistake. So what people do next is, all right, so 6, -2, so we have 6, -2 right there, and then we draw a vector. So the job is done, right? Is this correct? The answer is absolutely wrong. So let's get rid of the mistake. So 6, -2, what that means is they want you to go 6 units to the right. How come that is 6 units to the right, not to the left? Because 6 is positive. So at -1, if you go 6 units to the right, then you are at 5, right? -1 plus 6, you get a 5. You go 6 units to the right, and then you go 2 units down. How come that is not 2 units up? Because that is -2. And then 4 minus 2, you stop at 2, right? So the destination, or I should say the terminal point, is right here. And then let's erase that little dot, and then you shoot an arrow over there. So this is the 6, -2. It's like flying an airplane. And then the -1/4 is where you change the direction. So let's do this again. So -1/4, you go 1 unit to the left, and then 4 units up, and then you draw an arrow. So that is the first stage. And then the next stage, 6, -2, you go 6 units to the right, and then you go 2 units down. If that is a -6 +2, then you go 6 units to the left, and then 2 units up. And then how do you finish this? So you finish this with a third vector. So before we sketch that vector, so let's do the addition below. So we have -4 plus 6, 2. So that is you add the -4, -1 plus 6, and then comma 4 plus -2. So at the end of the day, you have a 5 comma 2, right? So where is 5 comma 2? 5 comma 2 is right here. I should use another color to do that. 5 comma 2 is like right here. This is 2, right? So 5 comma 2 is right over there. And then all you have to do is you draw a vector. So this one follows the triangle, all right? And then the next one, the red one, 3, -1. So x is equals to 3, y is equals to -1. So 3, -1 is right over there. And then you shoot an arrow to that point from the origin. And then the next one, -1, 5. Do we do this? Let's look. Do we do this? -1, 5. And then we draw an arrow. The answer is no. That is super, super, super wrong. Okay, get rid of the mistake. -1, 5 is you go 1 unit to the left. What if that is past the 1? Then you go 1 unit to the right. So you go 1 unit to the left, which is right there. Do you see the little red dot? And then you go 5 units up, and then you stop at here, right? And then what you have to do is you shoot an arrow over there. So from the first destination to the second destination, so here is your arrow. So let's erase the little dot, and then for the third vector, you have to perform the math. 3 plus -1 comma -1 plus 5. So 3 plus -1 is 2, -5 minus 1 is 4, so 2, 4. Let me use another color to do that. 2, 4 is right here. So all you have to do is you shoot an arrow to that point from the origin. So that is your triangle. And then the 3-dimensional, that one is hard because I don't really like the graph. So let's take a look at this 3-dimensional. So let's do the math first. So when you add them, so you get 3 plus 0, and then 0 plus 8, comma 1 plus 0, and then you have a 3 and then you have a, and then you have 1. Let me give you a hint right here. Actually, that helps you to understand the problem. It's not a hint. I strongly suggest you to write this out because that helps you to understand how the graph works. So let's do the graphing. The first one is x equals to 3. So we have our x-axis and then y-axis and then the z-axis. So x is equals to 3. So let's follow my do you see that do you see my yellow pointer, the yellow dot moving around? So x is equals to -3 from the origin to -3. We got it. And then y is equals to 0. That means we don't make a move. Again, we start at the origin. X is equals to 3. We start right there. Y is equals to 0. We don't move. And then z is equals to 1. That means what this is how you picture this. So the xy plane is two-dimensional, right? The xy plane is two-dimensional. So 3, 0 is a point right here. What xz is equals to 1 is like you are at the ground level, and then you take the elevator, you go 1 story up. So the z is equals to 1. That means you have to lift this point 1 unit up to over there. So do you see that the red dot, sorry, the yellow dot? The point is right here. So we plot a point right there, and then we shoot an arrow from the origin. Don't forget to draw the arrow. And then what about the next one? The next one is you add another vector to it, right? So here is y. I underline the steps. So 0, do you see that the 3 plus 0 and the 1 plus 0? So 3 plus 0 means the x coordinate is not changing. 1 plus 0 means the z coordinate is not changing. And then you add 8 to it. So what is the plus 8 mean? So what I am trying to do right now is I want to analyze the 0 plus 8. The 0 plus 8 means you start at the blue point. You have to go 8 units to the right. So 8 units to the right. So that was y equals to 0. So and then you add 8 units to the right. So now the y is right over there. You just add 8 units to the right. So from y equals to 0 to y equals to 8, you just add 8 units to the right. So that means you have to go like that. And then what about the 3a1? So the 3a1, let's follow my pointer. So x is equals to 3, starting at the origin. X is equals to 3, y is equals to 8, and then you lift 1 story up. Again, starting at the origin, x is equals to 3, y is equals to 8, and then you lift 1 unit up. All right, and then you have to finish the graph with this. Let's use another color for that from the origin to that point. Don't forget the arrow. Alright, so that is the end of this problem, and it's also the end of this video. If you think my instruction is helpful, let me know in the comment section below. As always, like the video, thumbs up, share the video for me, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. See you all in the next lesson. Signing off for now.